Hi, you guys. Welcome back to Meaningful Motivations with Tracey Erickson. And of course, if you are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Tracey Erickson, and in this video, I want to tell you guys all about the spiritual or symbolic meaning of cicadas, as well as the meaning of the number 17. So stay tuned. First off, I just want to apologize that my voice is a little scratchy right now. I spent a long weekend in Lake Geneva with my husband and some friends of ours, and I came home with a case of laryngitis. So I'm finally getting over that. And now here I am to tell you all about the symbolic meaning of cicadas and the number 17. I have known cicadas for my entire life. In fact, I consider the song of the cicada the song of summer, because each summer I can hear them whistling their songs in the trees. And it's usually late in the summer, kind of around the harvest time, that the cicadas begin to sing their song. Last year, as I was sitting on my deck, one of my dogs found a cicada that was lying on its back on the deck. And I even got a close-up video of its little face after I flipped it over. Hey, leave it alone. Leave it alone. I was actually inspired to make this video about the cicadas because of my weekend in Lake Geneva. My friend Bergen actually took us to her hometown, Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, and we stayed in a house that was only a couple of blocks from the beach. And as soon as we arrived at the house and walked into the garden, there was a cicada lying in the path, and I asked Neil to move it out of the way so that no one would step on it. So that was the first encounter with the cicada this weekend. But then later, when we decided to walk up to the beach, that is when I saw cicadas everywhere. As we got into the water, there were dead cicadas floating everywhere in the water. And not only that, I even found some cicadas on the shore of the beach. And so they were just everywhere. And I'd actually never seen so many of them. They're just like washing up. And look, here we go. There's one. Yeah. There's one. There's one. As my friend Bergen and I were just floating around in the lake, we were discussing all of these cicadas. And she mentioned that these particular Lake Geneva cicadas happen to come out every 17 years. And for some reason, when she said that, it made a light pop on in my head. And I said to her, oh my gosh, Q is the 17th letter of the alphabet. And Bergen's last name begins with Q. And so we found that to be very interesting as well. The next day, while we were walking around and shopping at the little shops in the downtown Lake Geneva, I decided to wait outside one of the stores while the others went inside, because I happened to be in the middle of a phone call that I decided to take. And sure enough, I looked down at the curb and there was yet another cicada. So I kind of saw these cicadas all weekend long. When we got home from Lake Geneva, I decided to do a little research into the cicadas so that I could further contemplate the symbolic meaning of what I had encountered over the past weekend. During my search, I found some interesting facts about cicadas, including that there are more than 3,000 cicada species found across the world and have been significant in many cultures since ancient times. In some Asian cultures, cicadas are a symbol of rebirth, health, wealth, and happiness. I also found that periodical cicadas are insects that spend most of their lives underground as nymphs, feeding off of the sap of tree roots. They emerge to transform into adults and mate. Some periodical cicadas emerge every 13 years, and others emerge every 17 years. And according to Feng Shui, cicadas are a powerful symbol of longevity and everlasting happiness in the living world. And this is partly due to the fact that they are among the longest living insects. And it also told this story about a queen. It said, then there's the story of a benevolent Q queen who died and was reborn as a cicada. One of her best qualities is that she never got old. As a result, the cicada can also represent youth. I found it interesting that Smithsonian National Museum screenshot states that the cicadas spend most of their time underground as nymphs. Because then I decided to look up the definition of a nymph. And according to the dictionary, it says that a nymph is a mythological spirit of nature imagined as a beautiful maiden inhabiting rivers, woods, or other locations. It also stated that it is the younger version of certain types of insects. But I found it very interesting that the word nymph is shared with a mythological feminine being of nature. And also that the story of that Q queen is of a female, a queen, who represents youth, which a female who is in youth is someone who is very fertile in, not only in like reproduction, but fertility can also represent creativity, abundance, and so many things, energetically speaking. And according to Wikipedia, it says the cicada is an animal replete with symbolism. Recurring themes are resurrection, immortality, spiritual realization, and spiritual ecstasy. As far as the number 17 goes, I first thought to myself, when I think of the number 17, is the numerology of the number. So the number 17 would represent the energy of the number 1 as well as the number 7 together. So that energy to me, upon my initial pondering of the number 17, is that the number 1 is all about taking action, and it's about being aggressive towards what it is that you want. And it's about basically being, the singular thing needed to help with your creation. And that is action. So the number 7, right off the top of my head, I immediately thought of was basically following a path or a purpose in life, as well as using your own control along the way. So I also, in numerology, like to digit down numbers that are above a single digit. So in the case of 17, 1 plus 7 equals 8. And 8 is not only my life path number, but 8 is also going to represent infinity. Think of the way it looks. But the 8 not only is going to represent the spiritual intermingling with the physical, because of as above, so below, but the 8 also represents abundance. It's one of the most abundant numbers in numerology. So I found that interesting as well. But then I decided to look more into the internet once again to kind of get more insight into the number 17. And this is some of what I found. As far as an angel number, I found that when you see angel number 17, it signals a chance for positive changes. Some important meanings behind the number include new opportunities, being brave and believing in yourself, as well as letting go of past hurts through forgiveness. And I found another article about the angel number 17 that is all about being about success and fortune and staying on your path. Now, within that article, it states that the angel number 17 it means that divine energies want you to stay on your path, to keep a positive outlook on life, and to trust that you will achieve all that you set out to do. This number is rich with wisdom, spiritual awareness, and deep vibrational energy. It's a positive sign and a sign of encouragement that invites you to step out of doubt and into certainty. The number 17 weaves together the energy of new beginnings, bright starts, and forward momentum. It also gives a nod towards your spiritual path and your guardian angels, lending a divine hand to lead you where you need to be. The number 17 is also about taking potential and turning it into action, and it highlights leadership qualities. Outside of numerology, the second thing I thought of when thinking of the number 17 was the tarot. So, of course, I decided to look at the major arcana card of the number 17, which is the star. So, I pulled my star out of the deck and I noticed right away how interesting that all of the stars pictured on the star card in tarot have an 8-pointed star. So once again, it's the energy of not only 17, but also of that abundance of the 8. And you can see in the star card, this card is all about being basically the main character in your life. It's about drawing attention to yourself effortlessly. It's about also putting yourself out there, like being a star, for instance. And it's about your awareness growing and finding that there are many different avenues that will lead towards your abundance. So the message of the 17 is also found in the star card in tarot. You guys, also, as a little side note, I have to tell you this little part about my weekend. So, on the way home on Sunday, I received an email, which I get each and every week from Biddy Tarot. And that email is basically giving you your card of the week for the upcoming week every Sunday. I found it very interesting that I received this email for my tarot card of the week on Sunday while we were driving home from Lake Geneva, because my card for the week, for the upcoming week, was the freaking star card. I am not kidding. Within the message of the star card for my card of the week, it said that the star brings renewed hope and faith and a sense that you are truly blessed by the universe. This is a time of significant personal growth and development, as you are now ready to receive the many blessings of the universe. So for me personally, I felt like the cicadas as well as the number 17 were basically telling me that I'm drawing closer and closer to my abundant blessings flowing to me. But not only that I'm also on the correct path, and my angels are asking me to stay the course. I also felt like this was a time for a renewed hope in what I'm doing, as well as faith, but also a new opportunity to grow into newer and higher levels of myself through this process. And I also see this as a great time of change as well, but definitely a very fertile time indeed when it comes to my creative endeavors. If you see cicadas in your life, and at the time of seeing them, you just feel within yourself, or you just know that it was a message from the universe, then this information can definitely apply to you in your situation as well. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. So if you like this video, be sure to click that like button and feel free to share this video with all of your friends out there. And of course, if you're a viewer but not yet a subscriber, I'm inviting you now to click subscribe down below. And once you have subscribed, you can turn on the notifications bell if you would like to see more of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching and spending your time with me. I love you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.